What's happening, guys? So I'm gonna do things a little bit differently, right? I'm not using StreamYard when I'm doing content like this because my connection is just goofy. So if I just straight screen record on my laptop, should get the job done. You can see me nice and clear, no stuttering, no nothing. So we're gonna be reacting to my videos that I edited and put together of AFTV's Laurie, which is the one sat right here. Let me just circle him so you can see him. This one, if it lets me do it. And then there's going to be one on AFTV's Robbie, or AFTV Robbie. And then we'll also, I didn't think I'd be getting Turkish in on the mix, but he said something on his fan cam which I thought was disappointing. So we're going to get into it. So, anyways, let me just back them up. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to be reacting to what I put together. So all the edits, the music, the everything, I did it. You know what I mean? I flipped this so you can see the shirts are backwards because the last video I did on AFTV, the one about the Nketi debate, it got copyright, and I think it was because of it got the beginning part in it where the we love you Arsenal, we do, so. But anyways, let's get into it.
Dave that says United have had a better season than us. We are bottomless. Bang that!
You know what, right? I was having that conversation with Flex the other day.
Cornable.
And I know you were saying it's only the League Cup. But I've got to be honest, if they do go on and beat City, and
which they won't,
in the Champions League.
So this was last season. This was during the Brighton game they are watching there. And they're talking about this. It's a whole debate of whether United have had a better season than Arsenal or not. You know what I mean? Which I think is a ridiculous debate to have, considering that last season they won the League Cup. They won a trophy. You know what I mean? Well, the League Cup's an invisible trophy to this lot. But let's listen to him.
Then you'd have to say yes, wouldn't you?
So he's saying that if Man United were to win the FA Cup against Man City, then with them winning the League Cup and the FA Cup, then that would mean they'd had a better season. Never mind that they won one trophy already. No. You have to win another one to then be better than Arsenal, who finished second and won absolutely nothing. Dumb. It's dumb. But Robbie's justification is, oh, well, how come League Cup winners not play Community Shield then, mate? I personally think they should, if the team that won the league also won the FA Cup. Because as far as I'm concerned, Man United are the second best team in England, behind Man City. Man City won the Premier League and the FA Cup. So the next of kin for me is Manchester United, not Arsenal. You know what I mean? Okay, we finished second in the Premier League, but is that really better than winning the League Cup? You know what I mean? If you won the League Cup, you are the champion of the Football League. Out of all 92 teams, you're the champion. The FA Cup is the champions of the Football Association. So out of the Football Association, football top tier all the way down to non-league, you're the best. And then the Premier League is you are the best in England. You know what I mean? It's only logical that the League Cup winners would go in a Community Shield off the back of the team winning the double that won the league, winning the FA Cup with it as well. Doesn't it make sense? So
If they win the FA Cup, yeah, fair, but I don't think they will.
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Say it, I double dare you, motherfucker!
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not. Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Just lost to West Ham 3-1 here at the London Stadium.
We got smoked.
Got smoked. I mean, you've been said we haven't won this competition since, before I was born.
So he acknowledges that we haven't won this competition since before Cecil, whatever his name is, was born. Right? But if we'd have gone all the way in this competition and Spurs finished second, they would have had a better season than Arsenal then, with their logic. You know what I mean? Can you imagine Spurs bottle winning the league the same way we did last season? And if we were to have won the League Cup this season, can you imagine what these same Arsenal fans would be saying? They'd be saying that Spurs bottled it, because we know Robbie didn't like the term bottling when it came to Arsenal winning the league. And then he would say, oh, but we won a trophy though, mate. That's what he would have done.
Early days, but we're not going to be winning it this year, Laurie, at all.
I'm very disappointed, man. I'm very disappointed.
He's very disappointed. Why would you be disappointed in winning? Why would you be disappointed that we're getting kicked out of a cup competition that doesn't change if we've had a good season or not, if we were to win it?
I'm very disappointed, man. I'm very disappointed, man. I'm very disappointed, man. In fact, I'm annoyed with Mikel Arteta because off
the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
He made too many changes. I was saying before all week I wanted to see him play a strong team.
Why? Why play a strong team in this competition, right? When winning it doesn't change our success to the season. With their logic, if we'd have won this competition, it would not change a thing. Right? Because whoever finishes second at least has had a better season. Whoever was to win the FA Cup would have had a better season. So to me, you don't care about this competition then. So why would you care that much that, oh, I'm disappointed in Arteta's decision making in this competition that I said that it won't be that good compared to finishing second, really?
What he's done is made a number of changes, and
Off
to
the
me,
back of just
he's done
the
things
League
in
Cup,
reverse.
probably
So, if you were going to rest these guys, why are you bringing them on with 3-0 when we're 3-0 down?
Yeah. But with,
You know what I mean? I don't understand.
But
the logic.
this team should be beaten. That team that you put out there should be good enough to compete. You shouldn't be getting smoked like that.
We should beat most teams, but the point I'm trying to make is when you make so many changes,
back of just
you
the
disturb
League Cup,
the
probably
balance
not.
of the side.
I keep putting that clip in there because we need to be reminded that this guy said off the back of just winning the League Cup, then probably not that the League Cup winners have had a better season than the team that's flirted with the idea of winning the league title that ultimately didn't win. So let's put it this way, right? Because we know how the League Cup's treated. This is how the League Cup is treated. Now let me go by all of them: Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup. Right? Let's go domestically. Right? The Premier League is that 10 out of 10 woman that we all want. Right? We walk into a nightclub, we see a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? That's what we all want, right? The FA Cup used to be the FA Cup was her fit friend. Not as attractive as her, but it's her fit friend. He's like, well, if I couldn't get to the 10 out of 10, the 7 out of 10 will do. You know what I mean? Above average, blah, 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 blah. And then the League Cup was seen as, I don't care about that. You know what I mean? You know, she's not all that. But, you know, if I'm down bad, I'll take her, kind of thing, right? That's typically how it is, right? Mourinho came into the Premier League in 2004, right? And then he won Chelsea the League Cup and the league title in 2005. Since then, it was a thing where the League Cup, winning the League Cup and the league title was more of a double, as in terms of that was most likely to be done. Because since 2005, only Chelsea and Man City have won the double that involves with the league title and the FA Cup. I might be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Chelsea did it in 2010, Man City did it in 2019 and 2023. Had an FA Cup with the league title at the same time. You know what I mean? Wenger were doing that. Fergie were doing that. But then since Mourinho came in 2004, right? Then you had League Cups coming with it. You know what I mean? You had Sir Alex Ferguson then winning the League Cup again. You know what I mean? Because what does that guarantee you? A trophy. So now the League Cup is, I've walked into the nightclub and I've entertained the first woman that came in front of my face. The first woman that showed me interest, I took her. That's the League Cup now. And then the FA Cup is, I couldn't get the 10 out of 10. The club lights are about to come on because I've been successful all night. Oh, but the FA Cup. The FA Cup's there. So the FA Cup now is that girl that nobody wanted. But you're willing to take her because you failed elsewhere. And the League Cup was, I took the first thing that showed interest. That's how it is now. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So now you had managers like Pellegrini coming in and winning League Cup with the league title. Mourinho did it in 2015 as well.
This is a trophy that we should be looking to win. This is a trophy that we should be looking to win. This is a trophy that we should be looking to win.
So this is a trophy that we should be looking to win. I agree with him. But you, man, were on there, on AFTV, chatting about whether United have had a more successful season than us. And you completely dismiss the fact that the aim of a league sport is to win a trophy. But you, man, you man, think that, I don't know if you're getting us twisted with Man City. Just winning the League Cup ain't good enough for Man City. You know what I mean? We haven't earned our stripes to be even talking about, oh, well, I don't want the League Cup. We haven't earned our stripes. We haven't won the league since 2004. It's been going on 4 years next year that we haven't won an FA Cup. We haven't won the League Cup for 31 years. But we can sit here and chat about how we don't want the League Cup, basically. Or if a team's won it, but we finished second, we've had a better season. We didn't even have a better season than West Ham, fam. Let's be real.
Say it again. I double dare you, motherfucker.
This is a trophy that we should be looking to win.
Ow!
This is a trophy that we should be looking to win.
But he's done it before against Brentford, Laurie. He rotated in that game and won the game.
Yeah, but this is
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
Up against a team, okay, they've not been playing well recently, they lost their last 3 games, all the rest of it. But I knew they'd be up for it today. And
shouldn't matter to you, man, though. I mean, the fact that you probably think that just winning the League Cup, you haven't had a better season than the team that's finished second and put two bit of pressure on, is baffling. To me, you don't care about the League Cup that much. You know what I mean? You don't. You know what I mean? You wouldn't say that about the FA Cup. You wouldn't say that. And one because we've been winning it in these recent years, right? So that feeling is familiar with a lot of fans today. So you can't say that about the FA Cup, really. You know what I mean? Even if you wanted to, but the League Cup you can, because it's been so long. Since, you know what I mean? A lot of the people stood there weren't even alive when Arsenal last won the League Cup. There's fans that were alive, like me, but me 3 years old. I'm like, what am I going to know about Arsenal winning the League Cup? You know what I mean? But you of all people, you know what I mean? We can see that you existed on this planet in 1993. You know what I mean? We can see you weren't born after that. You know what I mean? But it's been that long that you can turn around now and say, ooh, probably not.
things just didn't go right for us today, but I've got to say I was disappointed.
Say it again. I double dare you, motherfucker.
I was disappointed that he didn't play a stronger side, I've got to say.
You were saying it's only the League Cup. But I've got to be honest, if they do go on and beat City, and
which they won't,
for the Champions League, then you'd have to say yes, wouldn't you? Two
if
trophies
they
in the
win
Champions
FA
League.
Cup, if they win the FA Cup, then yeah, fair. But I don't think they will.
Off the back of just the League Cup, probably not.
And that's where we are. That's where we are. You know what I mean? Off the back of just winning the League Cup. Now, my next video is going to be on AFTV Robbie. Right? So we're going to get into that right now. Right, so this is another clip. I put this in when, you know, this is when AFTV Robbie had the audacity to downplay the League Cup to a man who's won it multiple times, an ex-professional who won it all with Fergie. I mean, apart from the FA Cup, for, you know, those of you who may know, but whatever. But he's won it all. And Robbie had the audacity to be there on his stream talking about, you know, the League Cup, you know, it's a February Cup, don't want that, blah, 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 as an Arsenal fan. Bear in mind, he hasn't seen Arsenal win the League Cup since 1993. Yeah. Let's get into it. If this stops freezing on there.
Because you haven't won for so many years, you don't understand about these things. 20 plus.
It's 19. Stop being
You haven't
silly.
won for many years either.
Yeah,
Let's not get it twisted. Right? Hold on.
I've won
Let
it,
me
though,
remind you. You're Manchester United. You're not Manchester City, you're Manchester United. You haven't won it for a long time as well. And at least, listen, we've had a great season.
Stop the cap.
You could talk about how Man United are not winning either, but they've won the league more recently than us. They've won the league more recently than us. It's 10 years for them. It's 20 for us. Well, it'll be 20 next year. It'll be 20 years next year. You know what I mean? It'll be 11 years for them next year. So, yeah, we can say that you haven't won anything either, mate. They've won more variety of trophies in recent times than we have. You know what I mean? In recent times, 4 FA Cups. In recent times for them, 2 League Cups and a Europa League and an FA Cup. You know what I mean? We've been eating the same flavour of food. They've been eating variety of different ones.
For the league.
Oh, you've not had a great season, no. Winning anything's not a great season. Have some standards, Robbie. You used to be a big club in London.
Right? In comparison, you got to be real with this, right?
And he's right. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's right. Have some standards. Not winning anything is not having a great season. That's not a definition of having a great season. What? Put too bit of pressure on. So if you go on a night out with your boys, right, and you try and talk to women, but you're not successful, you've had a good night just because you tried. It's just stupid.
Of the season, if I'd have came to any of you guys, in particular you guys, none of you had Arsenal even in your top 4. Be real.
No.
I need to stop this from fuzzing on there, pausing on there.
They didn't.
No, I don't.
We've challenged for the league. If it weren't for us, there'd be no challenge this season. Because you're miles off it.
And if it weren't for us, there would be no challenge. And so he sat there and boasted about challenging. He sat there and boasted about challenging. Simultaneously, we threw away cup competitions to try and challenge for this league title. We thought, League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, don't matter. Bigger fish to fry. How'd that work out for us? Well, we got a handout in the Community Shield that we shouldn't have been in. And we won that. Because you know, you put Arsenal in the Community Shield, we're winning it. Don't matter who it is. winning it. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? Things certain in life, death, taxes, and Arsenal winning a Community Shield. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? I'd go as far as saying the only way I could see Arsenal losing a Community Shield is if we'd won the league to get in there. Because FA Cup winners in recent times seem to win the Community Shield for some reason. They seem to do it. They seem to beat the league title winners in recent times. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Arsenal have never lost a Community Shield before. We have. But, you know, it's foreign to us now. You know what I mean? Arsenal lose the Community Shield. This is why not only did I predict we'd beat Man City in their Community Shield, but when they scored their goal and it was heading towards, you know, the game was heading towards finishing, it felt weird that I'm going to actually watch Arsenal lose a Community Shield. You know what I mean? And then when that goal went in, I thought, we've got this now. We've got him. Got him. You know what I mean? As soon as Trossard deflected shot went in, I thought, that's it. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Anyways.
What a challenge.
That's not what conversation's about. It's about you guys over-amping what you guys are achieving. It's like the other day. You've competed to finish in the top four, really. That's what you've done.
Come on.
You've competed to finish in the top four. That's
right?
how it's ended, though. You've competed to finish in the top four.
United. I remember you a couple of seasons ago.
Sorry, Robbie, can I just read something out? Joel Bale. Yeah?
3rd of March.
4th
of March, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Premier League champions of 2022-23.
You see, this is the thing. I can't stand fans that do this. Right? I've met Joel before, actually. But I can't stand it when he does this. I suppose the payroll that he's on, he probably has to. Right? 2-2 bit of giddiness because of 2-2 bit of result. And you start talking about, we're going to win the league, mate! That bollocks. I know it's content for if and when it doesn't happen. But, fam, if this was Spurs, you see, it's fans like this, right? As much as I do not want Spurs to win anything at all, I don't even want them to get into a Community Shield and win that, right? But it's fans like that deserve to see Spurs win something. Because I don't know what it's going to take for these men to wake up. I don't know. Maybe Spurs might have to win the league or something this season before these men start being a bit more demanding of success. You know what I mean?
Season Arsenal FC. This is what we're getting.
What's that got to do? Hold on, listen. Rio.
Because they're not he had about 700 on his show that was all saying the same thing.
Go on.
Rio, you can't talk to me about gassing up, right? Because I remember a couple of seasons ago, Ollie won a few games. Oh! And you were gassing him.
A few.
Do this, new contract, this, that.
There's a record.
Yeah, we remember that, Rio. We remember that, fam. You were gassing the thing, fam, when Ollie won 2-2 bit of games. And you were like, ooh, why did I at the back, mate? And then since that, it went downhill. We remember Rio Ferdinand. We remember. Get me.
He can run. He was on.
Run?
Yeah.
But where did you challenge? No.
Okay, so he got the sack, yeah? We're talking about standards, you said. Yeah. Only finished second, by the way.
Yeah, but he was miles off. That was a miles off.
Now Rio fell into the same trap that Robbie's currently stuck in. He tried to lead with Ollie finished second. So now you're leading with the same shit that Robbie's saying. Because Robbie's out here saying, ooh, we put pressure on me, we challenged me. But now what Rio did was he did the same thing. Ollie finished second, mate. And it was an amazing second, but at the same time, in fact, no, I can't even give you that. Because there was no pressure from United that were going to do anything. You know what I mean? It was a shit second. United have done shit second finishes twice in recent times now. Mourinho did it. Ollie did it. You know what I mean? When Man City are 100% going to win the league because of so many points ahead, Man United are the ones that finish second. But when it's been close, you had Liverpool's like a point or so behind them. You know what I mean? And then you had Arsenal, 5 points behind them? You know what I mean? But with Man U, there's no threat. But at the same time, there's nothing to brag about of finishing second. Nothing to brag about.
Second, and he didn't challenge.
You know when you look back in the record books, yeah? You know when you look at the record books, you don't go, oh my God, they were so close, but they finished second.
Nope.
They were second, that's it.
I agree with that, but what it is for this young side is progress.
The young side. Ooh, it's a young squad, mate. You got to give them credit.
And at least we can. It's progress. Listen, we could have won the league this year. We've been beaten by a better team. Manchester City with Haaland, 50-odd goals, record-breaking season. It's hard to compete with them, but
don't do that. Don't do that, fam. We were top of the league for 93% of the season, fam. You know what I mean? Ooh, they've got Haaland, mate, and they're hard to compete against. Fam, they were struggling. We were top all season. They were struggling. We didn't even need to beat them. Just beat Everton and beat anybody else that we dropped points against. Would have been enough. We finished 5 points behind them. You know what I mean? All we needed to do was win two more games. Out of the games that we lost, just win 2 of them. That would have been enough. You know what I mean? And we didn't need to beat Man City. We could have afforded to lose twice to them. We lost twice to Man City, lost at Everton, lost at Forest, and lost at home to Brighton. Right? We lost away at Man U as well. All we needed to do, take away the 2 Manchester City losses. So you've got losing at Man United, you've got losing against Brighton at home, Forest away, Everton away. Either one of them 2, win 2 of those, we would have won the league. Not even Liverpool got to a stage where they didn't need to beat Man City. They always had to beat Man City. At least one of them games. And everyone said, Liverpool needs to go to the Etihad. Liverpool needs to go to the Etihad and win. If they're going to win the league. Season, they finished, a point behind them or something? Lost 1 game. And the only game they lost was Man City at the Etihad. The only game they lost. They needed to beat them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they drew too many games. You know what I mean? But we didn't need that. We had the luxury of being able to lose twice to them. But no. We lost games. You got 1 game, Everton. We went there and won this season. But we lost there last season. You know what I mean? We'll probably go Forest this season and win.
We competed with them for most of the season. They're going to win the league. At least we got something to build on.
Can we throw a violin?
You guys, on the other hand, you were gassing up the Carabao Cup.
Here's where Robbie's now ripping into him about the Carabao Cup.
You beat Charlton and teams.
Can I just say something,
Which
Robbie?
is the trigger? Let's focus on that Carabao Cup one, by the way.
And this is the thing as well, right? Talking about who Man United had to beat to get to the Carabao Cup final, right? Yeah, they had all home games, but I think Charlton was the one that knocked out Brighton, who knocked us out of the League Cup. And we were at home when we got knocked out by Brighton last season. 3-1. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Man U got cushy home games going up to that final. Still had to win the games. You know what I mean? We've shown that you could give us all home games. We got kicked out by Brighton. So, who knows who we would have gotten if it was... I don't know if Brighton were home or away in the next round. But, you know what I mean? Let's face it. When we ended our 9-year trophy draw in 2014, we had home games all the way in the FA Cup till we got to Wembley. So, yeah.
You realise you was in that... No. We don't care about that cup.
Wait.
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 I double dare you, motherfucker.
Carabao
We don't
Cup.
care about that cup.
Wait.
We don't care about that cup. We don't care about that cup. We don't care about that cup.
Wait.
You shut up.
We
don't want that dusty cup.
Arsenal.
Go on.
Dusty Cup. Man calls it a Dusty Cup. You know what I mean? You see, Joel strikes me as a type of Arsenal fan that's like, he's not organic. You know what I mean? He's not organic. That's how he strikes me. Same with Robbie, really. I mean, this is the same Robbie that didn't know what year Arsenal moved into the Emirates Stadium. He thought it was 2004. I don't know how you can get that wrong. In my opinion, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't.
Teams cannot be disrespecting the Carabao Cup when you've only won the FA Cup in the last 20 years.
Yeah, so we won it four times in 8 years.
Oh, we won 4 FA Cups in 8 years, mate. So that means we can disrespect the League Cup. That's what that means. We can just turn around and just be like, nah, League Cup. Really? A trophy we haven't won since 1993. 1993. Which was part of a double as well. But 1993. Jesus Christ. In the 21st century, we haven't even tasted the League Cup. Since 1993, we've been to 3 finals and lost them all. And now we can turn around and call it Dusty Cup. You know what I mean? And I said before, I used to be in that camp of, oh, don't win League Cup, we got top 4 at least, blah, blah, blah. And I said it came from a place of salt. You know what I mean? We'd lost I remember bantering Liverpool fans for them treating it like a World Cup final when they beat Cardiff on pens. But the year before, we lost to Birmingham. And I have a lot of Liverpool fan friends. I hated the fact that they could celebrate winning a trophy and they could banter me as an Arsenal fan on us not winning a trophy. So the salt was real. The salt was real to the point where it's like, oh, keep your tin pot cup. You know what I mean? But really, really deep down, I was just hurt. Hurt that Arsenal just weren't doing it. Hurt that we lost that final the year before. Hurt that I didn't know when the next time we were actually going to lift a trophy. You know what I mean? But even then, even when we were winning FA Cups, I still wanted that League Cup. I still wanted, get that as well, get it. Wenger's last season, we got to the final in 2018, I wanted us to win that. It would have been a good last season for Wenger to finally get us a League Cup. Then he would have been alongside with Kenny Dalglish, Sir Alex Ferguson, and Jose Mourinho of managers that had won all the English domestic trophies, all the English trophies. He'd have gone down as that, but nope. You know, Arsene Wenger was always a failure in the League Cup, as well as Europe. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. You know what I mean?
We don't care.
You don't. It's not like you win league. Then win Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
You ain't been doing it since you were there.
Right, I'm trying to stop this from pausing and that. Let me just go back 10 seconds.
Yeah, so we won it 4 times in 8 years.
I don't get
we
you.
don't care.
You don't. It's not like you win leagues and win Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
You ain't been doing it since you were there.
No, I'm saying you can't be sitting there disrespecting
when you was playing, yeah.
When you guys are sitting there just going in competitions and winning on a regular basis.
But we don't care about that cup.
You have to take what you can.
Yeah, that's Robbie getting ignored there.
No, but you guys are going on all of a sudden. All of a sudden, the Disney Cup is the biggest. Oh wow, our season change. You shut up. The fact is, you guys have been poor since then. It's been yo-yo, up and down stuff. With us, we've been consistent.
You've been consistently baggy.
Since we won.
Let me just go back because it struggles after I pause it. Sometimes it might think.
Is the biggest. Oh wow, our season change. You shut up. The fact is, you guys have been poor since then. It's been yo-yo, up and down stuff. With us, we've been consistent.
You've been consistently baggy.
Since we won a trophy.
Consistently baggy.
What do you mean consistently baggy? Yeah, it's been a
hold on, Rio. To hold the Carabao Cup, that let's be real, nobody even puts their first team into that. The only 2 teams that went for that with their first teams all the way was you and Newcastle because you were both desperate to win a trophy.
And we should have been desperate to win a trophy. We haven't won one since August the 1st, 2020. Why aren't we desperate to win a trophy? teams these days are putting the stronger sides out. Teams these days want to win it. Now, we know the prize money ain't the greatest. You know what I mean? But if a manager's come in, the next manager, right, when Pep retires or leaves Man City, the next manager that comes into that job, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to try and win the League Cup because it's the first one that comes around. That's the first thing he's going to do. And this is what I'm saying about the League Cup being part of the double. Because that's how it is now. It used to be, FA Cup and league title. You know what I mean? Because the League Cup was where you put your kids out and let them do their thing. And then you get to Wembley, or you get to the semi-final, then you start, they start putting the B team, A team out. You know what I mean? The League Cup's early on in the season as well. You know what I mean? So it comes around first, and it gives teams a chance to put some of the second players out. Now, we know the League Cup isn't the best trophy that you can win out the four. You know what I mean? But it comes around first. Why not try and win it? Why not try and be the champions of the Football League? Then graduate to be champions of the Football Association, and then graduate to be champions of England. Why not?
Right, so let's be
Listen,
real.
Our first team, when I won it multiple times, Robbie, 1 second, when I won it multiple times.
So because you were both desperate to win a trophy, right? So let's be
Listen,
real.
Our first team, when I won it multiple times, when I won it, Robbie, 1 second, when I won it multiple times, first team playing the final, maybe the semi-final. That's just different eras, yeah? It's different eras. But you get there and you win it, yeah? So it's cool. I'm not saying that it's the biggest and best tournament. I'm saying where we are now, the Carabao Cup and top four was a good season for us and a big improvement.
Right. Here's how it is, right? Here's how it is. The big clubs, the ones that tend to be chasing the league title and everything like that, tend to be fighting for the league. They tend to not take the League Cup as serious as, say, a lower league side or a Premier League side that doesn't really challenge for the league or anything like that. But when you're starving of trophies, you start looking at the League Cup a little bit differently. At least that's how it should be. You know what I mean? But if you're a Man City, it's not going to hurt that bad if you're not in it. Like this season. It's not going to hurt them. You know what I mean? Because one thing that's guaranteed is they are going to be fighting for the bigger ones. But if your team that not only hasn't won that particular trophy for a very long time, if you're in a trophy drought right now, you can't be looking at the League Cup as if it's some side piece. You have to be looking at it as, we're going to take that on the way of trying to get that.
What we've done before, yeah? And my argument was, if as a player I finished second and didn't win a trophy, I would 100% take fourth and a trophy over what
managers who go into this competition don't really care.
I was just.
So this was the interview. This was his fan cam after the West Ham. After we got smoked by West Ham 3-1 in the League Cup. So let's listen. I didn't involve all of it in, but let's listen.
I was about to ask about that. Obviously, I think you're of the opinion that, it's not to say it's not important, but the Carabao Cup is definitely lower down.
Keep your little tin pot Carabao Cup, your February Cup.
Do you think the players, maybe also the manager as well, have come into the game also with that same mentality?
Keep your little tin pot there for everybody to see with every team. You know what I mean? And some teams have done better. We changed the team last game and we put in a much better performance than what we did this game. But the fact of the matter is this, and there might be West Ham fans watching this video that will be saying, "Oh, Robbie's just sour grapes." I said this before the game even started. For me, Saturday against Newcastle's more important. For me, Saturday against Newcastle's more important. What? For me, Saturday.
So you heard that there. Saturday, tomorrow's game against Newcastle is more important than being in this cup competition. You know what I mean? A cup competition, basically, the Premier League is basically, there's a girl that you like, right? You like her. You're attracted to her and everything like that, right? And you want to pursue her. Yeah? You want to pursue this woman. But you haven't really spoke to her or anything like that. Whatever. You don't even know if she's got a boyfriend or anything yet. I mean, so you're far away from getting any pum right now. But the League Cup, FA Cup, whatever. But the League Cup is basically you've got a chance of getting some pum. Not a girlfriend or anything like that, but you've got a chance of getting some pum. And it might have been a while since you last got some pum. You know what I mean? If you're a man, you haven't had pum in a while, right? Are you going to sack off the chances of getting some pum to occupy in the meantime just because you want to try and pursue a thing, right? Over there, you like the girl over there and everything like that, and, but you're not anywhere near talking to her or anything like that yet. You don't know if she's got a boyfriend or not. So you're going to be like, I'm not going to get some pum. I'm just going to focus on trying to... No! You're going to occupy yourself in the meantime. You know what I mean? If you're waiting for your main course to come, there's either a starter or some sort of snacks you will eat in the meantime before it arrives. Their logic is, I'm not touching nothing. I'm just going to wait for my potential main course that's going to arrive on my table. And there's nothing that tells me it's actually going to arrive. That's their logic.
Against Newcastle's more important. I double dare you, motherfucker. For me, Saturday against Newcastle's more important.
And that mentality is a small club mentality, right? You know what kind of clubs would say the league game is more important than the cup game? Ones that are fighting relegation. A club fighting relegation, fighting to stay in the Premier League, will prioritise a league game over an early round in a cup game. Because, why? They need the points so badly, they need to stay up. But, our fan base at Arsenal Football Club are looking at a cup game, at a cup competition we haven't won since 1993, and saying the league game is more important so early on. When we're Arsenal Football Club, we can do both. Oh, not here. Nope. Small club mentality. Small club mentality. How many Man City fans would turn around and say the league game is more important than the cup game? How many of them? Not many. Probably none at all. Why? Because they know they can do both. They know they can win the League Cup game and the Premier League game. They know they could do both. We've seen these man win a treble twice. You know what I mean? They're the only English club we've all seen win the treble twice. Maybe those of you who have been watching football through the 80s, you would have seen Liverpool win a treble in the 80s and a treble in the early 2000s. But other than that, but these man can stand there on their fan cams saying the league game is more important than the cup game. As an Arsenal fan, absolutely astounding.
For me, Saturday against Newcastle's more important. Now, whether we win that or not, I don't know. But to me, that's a more important game.
Obviously, I want Arsenal to win every single game that we're in. But if we were to not win on Saturday, if we were to lose on Saturday, it's fans like this that deserve to see it. Just like that meme. What's that film called? Bird Box. When that guy's holding that woman's eyes open to see whatever it is that they see. Because he wants her to see it. You know what I mean? That's me to these man. If Newcastle were to beat us tomorrow, these man need to see it. These man need to see it. They deserve to see that. If it were to happen, they're the ones, you see it, you look at it. You know what I mean? Such a small club mentality. The league game's more important. Astounding. Arsenal Football Club. We smashed Highbury down to move into the Emirates, which, in my personal opinion, it should have been there should have been a ransom on us moving in there. It should have been a what do you call it? It should have been a case of, okay, you've got Champions League. I've noticed that you're in a Champions League final against Barcelona, right? So how about this? If you win the Champions League against Barcelona, you'll get the Emirates. The stadium that's built for you, you can move into it as European champions. But if you don't win it, you're staying at Highbury until you prove yourself. That's what should have happened, in my opinion. We moved into Emirates and no league title to show for it since moving in that. No European trophy to show for it since that. 2 European finals. No. 1 European final since we moved into the Emirates. When we was in Emmanuel, Azerbaijan. In Baku, fam. Got smoked by our London rivals.
The problem is with this competition is that the managers don't take it serious. Let's be real. Mikel Arteta, loads and loads of players rested. Even West Ham, they rested a few players. Teams right across this competition, even Ipswich, right, who doing well.
No, I don't care. I don't give a shit. We know that certain youngsters or whatever will get run-outs. Certain first teamers would get rests for these games. We know this. Happens in the FA Cup as well. Happens in the FA Cup. But that's his justification on the way of downplaying this competition.
In the Championship, rested nearly all their players. They're at home with a chance to win and go into a quarter-finals, right? Most of the managers in this competition don't take this competition seriously. It's not one of the big major trophies.
Stop the cap.
You know what I mean? There's no VAR there, right?
You're really using VAR as an excuse. So if there's no VAR, it ain't that important, basically. Understand, some of these teams, like Championship teams and everything like that, they tend to... You're not going to get a Championship team that's going to put everything into trying to win the League Cup because they've got a promotion that they're trying to get, or they're fighting to stay up, or whatever. And they don't want this distracting them. You know what I mean? Because the League Cup is so early on in the season, especially for the low league sides. It's so early on, right? We're going to get a low league side in the semi-final now because Port Vale and Middlesbrough are facing each other in the quarterfinals. So we're going to get one of them in the semi-final. You know what I mean? So Premier League teams tend to be the ones, they go the furthest. You know what I mean? See, the last time a low league side got to a League Cup final was Swansea v Bradford in 2013. You know what I mean? And that was a League 2 side. You know what I mean? Other than that, lower league teams don't tend to get there. It tends to have a bit of a hinder on their season. But nonetheless, we're Arsenal Football Club. Should be going for these, regardless.
Because if there would have been VAR, maybe they might have pulled it back for the first goal, because Ramsdale was obviously held.
You shut up!
They don't see it as an important enough competition to use VAR until later on in the competition, right? So that's an indicator to show you just how important it is. It doesn't go to a replay or extra time. If it's 1-1 at the end of the game, it goes straight to penalties. It's not a serious competition. The competition, for me, basically, seems to be a hindrance to most managers. Mikel Arteta would be probably rather...
As I said, it does hinder some. That is not a justification to downplay this competition we haven't won since 1993. You know what I mean? It's not a justification. Why are Arsenal good enough to go through all the hindering and everything like that? Why are Arsenal good enough for that? Don't you, man, rate the transfer windows higher than you should? You know what I mean? So by definition, it shouldn't make that too much of an effect in terms of certain players that might not play and certain players that will play.
Kick on with the game at the weekend and then the Champions League game next week. That's just how it is.
Do you think that's the right mentality to have, though? Because surely as a manager that wants success for the club, you've got to be going for all the silverware that you can.
You have to go for all the silverware you can, if possible. You want to think to yourself, and I'm not even going to make excuses completely for that, because we are not doing what we used to do when Arsene Wenger was there and play pure kids. There are players like,
there's balance.
Yeah, there are players that are coming in. Fabio Vieira costs £35 million.
Champions League winners and Jorginho.
Jorginho's.
Whoa, Champions League winners and Jorginho, mate. Kai Havertz, mate. I mean, I almost want to not count the fact that they've both won it, because we know that not only Chelsea the number one London team when it comes to the European scale, right? And then at least in them times they had the mentality of we actually want to win. Now they're turning into a bit of a circus, but they had the mentality of I just want to win. You know what I mean? Now we've got their rejects. You think the same hunger's going to be there to try and do it for us? No, it's not.
You know what I mean? You've got players like Havertz who cost 65 million. These are proper players that can also be first team players.
And we weren't good enough to beat West Ham to get to the next round with those said players in the team. You Havertz and Vieira together are 100 million combined, and that wasn't good enough to beat West Ham.
Saying that really and truly, no manager, not even championship managers, take this competition seriously. No one takes it seriously.
Oh, right. But we've got Middlesbrough. Who's the manager of Middlesbrough? Michael Carrick, innit? Michael Carrick has got his side in the quarterfinals. I believe Middlesbrough will at least get to the semi-finals. Oh, you know what? 20 years ago, the last time Arsenal won the league, Arsenal got kicked out of the League Cup semi-final against Middlesbrough. 2004 League Cup semi-final. How ironic that Middlesbrough might be heading back there. You know what I mean? That might be their first time back there since, because I think they won it that season. I think Middlesbrough won the League Cup that season. I mean, we couldn't even mark a 20-year anniversary of getting back to semi-final. Could we? No, we couldn't.
They get to the semi-final. And then they're like, oh, you know what? We can win a bit of silverware. Let's go strong now for the semi-final and the final. And that is what's wrong with this competition. Everybody nowadays is just focused on the Premier League because of all the money in it. And they're focused on winning the Champions League. And then third comes the FA Cup. And quite a lowly fourth comes the Carabao Cup. It's still no excuse to put in your little Tim Top Carabao Cup in February. That performance was not good enough to say you're an Arsenal team.
And fans like you are not good enough to be representing this football club. Or should I say, being a fan of this football club to do content that relates to this football club. When you have speeches like that, downplaying a trophy we haven't won since 1993. It's not... Anyone would think Arsenal just do nothing but dominate League Cups. And that we dominated so much that we're just bored. You see this fan base, right, as well. Because we've won so many FA Cups, and we've won FA Cups in recent times as well. That's the only reason, I'm saying this now, that's the only reason this fan base doesn't talk shit about the FA Cup. You know what I mean? Because it's not foreign to us. If anything, we own the FA Cup. So they won't talk down about it. But the League Cup, because it's been so long since we've last won it, and a lot of this fan base has never seen it, it's easy to talk down on it. You know what I mean? It's easy to say what you don't like if you can't get it.
To represent thousands and thousands of fans that are at the game, leaving the game now and all getting soaking wet.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
Because you haven't won for so many years, you don't understand about these things. 20 plus.
It's 19. Stop.
You haven't won for many years. Is that the managers don't take it serious? Let's be real.
According to this, Control and P was to pause. I did that and it took me back to the beginning. So
Mikel Arteta, loads of players rested. Even West Ham, they rested a few players. Teams right across this competition, even Ipswich, right, who doing well in the Championship, rested nearly all their players. They're at home with a chance to win and go into a quarterfinals, right? Most of the managers in this competition don't take this competition seriously. It's not one of the big major trophies.
Stop the cap.
You know what I mean? There's no VAR there, right? Because if there would have been VAR, maybe they might have pulled it back for the first goal because Ramsdale was obviously held.
You shut up!
It as an important enough competition decision to use VAR until later on in the competition, right? So that's an indicator to show you just how important it is. It doesn't go to a replay or extra time. If it's 1-1 at the end of the game, it goes straight to penalties. It's not a serious competition. The competition, for me, basically, seems to be a hindrance to most managers. Mikel Arteta would be probably rather kick on with the game at the weekend and then the Champions League game next week. That's just how it is.
Do you think that's the right mentality to have, though? Because surely as a manager that wants success for the club, you've got to be going for all the silverware that you can.
You have to go for all the silverware you can, if possible. You want to think to yourself, and I'm not even going to make excuses completely for that, because we are not doing what we used to do when Arsene Wenger was there and play pure kids. Yeah. There are players like,
there's balance.
Yeah, there are players that are coming in. Fabio Vieira costs £35 million.
Champions League winners and Jorginho.
Jorginho's, you've got players like Havertz who cost £65 million. These are proper players that can also be first team players. Yeah. But I'm saying that really and truly, no manager, not even championship managers, take this competition seriously. No one takes it seriously when they get to the semi-final. And then they're like, oh, you know what? We can win a bit of silverware. Let's go strong now for the semi-final and the final. And that is what's wrong with this competition. Everybody nowadays is just focused on the Premier League because of all the money in it, and they're focused on winning the Champions League, and then third comes the FA Cup, and quite a lowly fourth comes the Carabao Cup. It's still no excuse to put your little tin pot Carabao Cup in February. That performance was not good enough to say you're an Arsenal team and to represent the thousands and thousands of fans that are at the game, leaving the game now and all getting soaking wet.
I think it was the end of the video. That's why, because I remember it was around about that bit where it things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my last video, and this is on AFTV's Turkish. I'm disappointed in that guy, but let's get it. Right, so this is Turkish's fan cam, and this is the last one of the three. Because obviously, if you want to see these clips that are edited without no voice, no commentary from me, they're on my channel right now. AFTV's Laurie is disappointed we're out of the League Cup. AFTV Robbie thinks the Newcastle game's bigger. AFTV's Turkish doesn't deem the Carabao Cup that important. So you can go see him on my channel right now. But let's get into this last portion.
Defeat away to West Ham in the Carabao Cup. The big question, do you care?
About going at the Carabao Cup, no. About going at the Carabao Cup, no.
Say it again.
About going at the Carabao Cup, no. About going at the Carabao Cup, no. But I care about the performance. I can't even lie, because the performance kind of builds on my
Oh, Turkish. I thought he was better than that. Out of all that time when everyone was Wenger out and everything like that, and he was Wenger out as well, but he was more on like, let's get the men upstairs, let's get the Kroenkes out. He was Kroenke out. While everyone was saying Wenger out, he was like, Kroenkes, fam. You know what I mean? Because the problem is there. You know what I mean? So he saw the bigger picture of that. And yet he can, I don't know how old he is, but he can stand there and be like, I don't care about going out of a competition that Arsenal have not won since 1993. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought he was better than that. I thought he would have had the mindset of, we're out of a cup competition. It was a chance to win a trophy, and we should be taking this along with trying to win the league and blah blah blah. Nope. He has a same small club mentality that Robbie has, and the others. Same small club mentality of, no, I don't care. I mean, a club fighting to stay up in the Premier League wouldn't care, because they're like, I just want to stay up now. But even if we're deep into the title race, I know the League Cup is for the first half of the season, but no, you should be taking that too. I mean, you should be trying to win that as well. Disappointed.
About going at the Carabao Cup, no. About going at the Carabao Cup, no. But I care about the performance. I can't even lie, because the performance kind of builds on my concerns throughout the season, where we're struggling to really create chances. And I know tonight there might be more of an excuse because the team was heavily rotated. I get that. But I think we're at a stage now where we kind of expect the rotated side to still put up a better performance, especially after all the money spent in the...
Do you think that attitude with some fans, because I've seen a lot of fans say, do you know what? And there's fans like James who do care, you know what I mean? And wanting to see, but do the managers care about this competition? When you see, you know, some of the teams that managers put out for this competition.
You know, the season that Arsenal do win the League Cup, whenever the hell that's going to be, right? These man don't deserve to see that. These man don't deserve to see that. Should the day come that Arsenal win the League Cup, right? I hope their stream malfunctions. I know some of them will go to games, but I hope their stream malfunctions and I don't see the winning goal or whatever. These man don't deserve to see it. To be able to disrespect it to the level that we're doing it at, astounding.
Yeah, I mean that's what the new era of fans tend to look at. Look at the managers that have won it. Look at the teams that have been in the finals, and I get that. But I said to you on the watch along, our era, Rob, Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, the Worthington Cup, Coca-Cola Cup, whatever sponsorship it used to have, it was just a chance for us to give the fringe players a chance. It was a chance for us to give some academy players a chance.
And you know what? When shit got peak with Sir Alex Ferguson, when he wasn't winning the league as often as he would like, you know, from 2003 to 2007, what did he do in that during that period? I think he got to the League Cup final in 2003 or 2001, one of them two. I know he lost to Liverpool on one of them, right? But he won it in 2006, didn't he? You know what I mean? And then what did he do in 2009 and 2010? He won the League Cup in 2009 and then retained it in 2010. 2010, the season he didn't win the league. You know what I mean? So he started taking this League Cup a little bit more seriously. I think he won it in the mid-90s. You know what I mean? He started winning the League Cup when things got peak. And he thought, no, I'll you know, at least I'm taking something. I'm leaving with something. Nope, we never had that attitude. So while he sat there or stood there saying, "Oh, in the 90s, mate, the Sir Ferguson era and Arsene Wenger, they just put kids out." Yeah, but the difference was, if Fergie knew, I'm gonna have to take, I'm taking something, I'm walking out with something. He knew that. Unlike Arsene Wenger.
I remember Fabregas coming from in the League Cup. Merida was another one. Lupoli was another one. I remember wanting to watch the League Cup games because it was a chance to see the youngsters we have potentially coming through the ranks. So I don't think it is of highest of importance. I don't think it is of highest of importance. You shut up! Even when you look at Pep City, they've won it how many times in the last few years? Look at the lineup they put out against Newcastle.
No, let's not gloss over that. Pep won it 4 times on the spin, fam. Why? He knew, I'm taking it. His first season at Man City, he got to a semi-final of the FA Cup. Lost to us. Didn't win anything. So the season after, what does he do? Oh, I'm taking the League Cup. At least if I take that, I've got something now. You know what I mean? He took the League Cup. Won that as a double with the Premier League. And then he won it 3 more times on the spin. And now he's going to sit there and say, well, look who they put out on the lineup against Newcastle over there, mate. Honestly, you see how he just glossed over it, though? You see how he just glossed over it? He was talking about Pep and that, and he was talking about the lineup he put against Newcastle. You know what I mean? Didn't mention that Pep won it 4 times in a row. And that he was actually gutted when they went out of it. No, he didn't mention that, though, did he?
Man United, they're the current holders. They're abysmal in the league. Ten Hag needs a win. They rotated heavily. So it's not the most important of competitions. So I wouldn't,
Alright, so how long would our trophy draw need to last before we start saying, you know what? Maybe we should take the League Cup seriously. Because so far, it's just over 3 years since we last won a major trophy. Right? 1993, the last time we won the League Cup. 2004, the last time we won the Premier League. At this rate, you might as well just downplay the league title and say that that's not really that important. You might as well, at this point.
I wouldn't expect the fan base to have a meltdown over it, and this is... I wouldn't expect the fan base to have a meltdown over it, and this is... I wouldn't expect the fan base to have a meltdown over it, and this is coming from someone who has quite a few meltdowns in a season, but I wouldn't expect the meltdown over this. But I am worried because the performance... Remember when I said it feels like the results will catch up with the performances, and I felt...
That AFTV check he must be getting paid good. I mean, man went from seeing a bigger picture when the Wenger out. He was like, Kroenke, this, that, and the other. Kroenke, this, that. So you would have thought, oh, well, this guy sees the bigger picture of things. While everybody else is saying about that, I'm talking about this here. Nope. He's just like the rest of them that downplay the League Cup. You know what I mean? Doesn't see it as important, even though he may or may have never seen Arsenal win it. He may or may have not even been alive when Arsenal won that competition last. The fact that Arsenal are the worst team in that competition that have ever won it. 7-time finalists, 2-time winners. But an Arsenal fan can stand there and downplay the League Cup as if we've been dominating it. I swear, these men might as well downplay the FA Cup. There'd be more of a reason to downplay the FA Cup than to downplay the League Cup right now. Because we could turn around and say, oh, we've been winning it these past 8 years. We even retained it when, after ending our trophy draw, we even retained the FA Cup. You know what I mean? These men might as well just downplay the FA Cup. You might as well talk about the FA Cup the same way they're talking about the League Cup. Well, no, they can't, because they relate to that more than anything.
We got that today, but because it's a heavily rotated side, I'm willing to just brush it off my shoulder and go into that Newcastle game. Do not lose that.
This is what I'm saying. See how the Newcastle game tomorrow is just so, like, it's everything now. This is what I mean. If Newcastle beat us, these man deserve to see it. Telling you. You know what I mean? What should happen? They should they should clip the eyelids open. Clip the eyelids through the eyebrows. And keep their eyes open so they can see it. If Newcastle to beat Arsenal, these man deserve to see it. Telling you. That bullshit talk about, oh, it's a Newcastle game, it's the big one, mate. You just got kicked out of a cup competition. We are not going Wembley in February. We're not going to have that day out. You know what I mean? We're not going to see the second team try and shine through now. Further in the competition, none of that. Because Arteta didn't take it seriously. If he'd have took it seriously, he'd have done what he would have done in the league. Let us be 1-0 down at West Ham in the league. I'm telling you, he's making changes at half time.
Very important now, isn't it? Because, all right, you can go out of the Carabao Cup, and if he goes to Newcastle and then Sevilla after that and wins those, nobody will really say that much about this. But if we go to Newcastle and we say to get another one of these type of results, people would care seriously about this. So
only serious Arsenal fans would go back to, we still should have been in the League Cup. Imagine if we'd have won it. Imagine if this, that and the other. Only serious Arsenal fans, these men aren't serious. You know what I mean? These men aren't serious. The one Arsenal to be what Man City are today. Man City of today don't look at the League Cup and think of it as, well, because they're actually winning, they have more of a reason to. You know what I mean? But they've earned their stripes to be able to. They earned their stripes. We haven't. How the freak can we downplay something that we haven't won since '93? You know what I mean? We can just idly sit there and just downplay it. They want us to be the big force, yet they're not behaving. The fans don't have the behaviour of a club that is or should be a big force. Because you can just turn away a trophy, even though all we've been winning is FA Cups recently. You know what I mean? All we've been winning FA Cups.
He's really, you know, Mikel Arteta and the players, let's just say, they're under serious pressure now to go and do something at Newcastle, which, by the way, they did last year.
We did do last year, but we did it last year when the pressure was off. And that tends to be the case over the years with us. When the pressure's off, we turn up.
Oh, that's the end of,
Defeat away to win.
That was the end of the video anyway. But what I was about to say was, yeah, and what will happen back end of this season when the pressure's off because we haven't won the league, because we fumbled that. What will happen is Arsenal will start playing how we played at the beginning of last season. I'm telling you right now. Anyways, I'm done with this video. It's been a long video. And this is pre-recorded, so yeah, it might take a little bit of a while to upload. But yeah, my match preview of the Newcastle game is, I think it's just about finished uploading actually. Yeah, well, yeah, bit of a late one. It's 9:34 in the evening. So yeah, this has been a late one for me in terms of getting it uploaded and everything like that. But yeah, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials. The links are in the description below. And yeah, guys, I will see you in the next video. What do you guys think of this clownery, by the way? Drop it in your comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.